Greetings. This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Uh, and with that being said, I take that brutal honesty very seriously. So let me start the broadcast with this: Long live the habitual line steppers. And I've always stated for those in the back that being a habitual line stepper is something that seriously, if you're going to be up in the rafters listening to someone who refers to himself as a habitual line stepper, you're going to listen to some things that you probably necessarily don't like, and that's just what comes with it. So I'm not going to be very long. I mean, I understand that it is very late and probably won't be too many of you here anyway, which that's okay because, we all have many, many things to do with our life. So I had this thought today, like, could a positive broadcast in this space really work if we were just all laughs, all shits and giggles, and all of that good stuff. Put it, everything with a cherry on top. Then could it actually work? I mean, could I go an entire broadcast without being negative about something? I mean, is that what the people who are in this space, is that something that we really want? Or are we just here for massive fuckery? Because my thing is this: is like, we always talk these things, we always talk, you know, whether we want positivity, if we want to do something like here's solutions instead of listening to people mention problems and absolutely no way out of it. Is it something that we really want? Do we really want a positive, and I can only speak for myself as a black man, do we want positivity? Is this something that we really want? And this tonight is probably going to be a little experiment, because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to thank I'm going to spend this broadcast thanking everyone for their contribution, because I want to let you know, in light of certain things, that your contribution is appreciated. It's not anything that I'm doing due to a certain person or people, or to take swipes at anyone, because then that would be negative. Is just that is I do really appreciate everything that I have gained thus far, being on YouTube since February of 2018. And I know that might be a bit sappy to some of you guys, but a broadcast like this is, long overdue. It really is. And is there any room? Is there any room in this space to actually be a positive broadcaster? How many positive? I mean, just ask yourself this question. Outside of people who do entertainment, and people who do like stuff like cooking channels and videos, and DIY, do it yourself type deals. Uh, are you really ready for a positive YouTuber that deals in these kinds of talks? Is because when I see someone who is a positive talker, it usually is like a motivational speaker, and they usually have to use negativity in order to be a positive person or positive speaker. so to speak. And I believe, with the group of people that we're dealing with, especially within this space, I think that positive, and I mean, this is just my belief, that positive can be somewhat boring. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, in light of things I've said to other people, other content creators, I don't really want to be a boring person who is hard to watch. Was saying, I mean, because when someone is positive, it can kind of come off as a bit disingenuous. Um, and I do understand, as a black man, there's not too many things that are put out into this universe that is positive for us. So I always myself, even though everything, not really everything, but most of the topics that I see in this space have some type of negative overtone. um is positivity something that we really want and we are willing to deal with? And it's just, so let's try it. Let's try a little bit of it. I may stray off into something negative because that's just the nature of it. Like I said, negativity seems to be a bit more exciting to people than positivity. So I just want to take my time to thank a few people, a few aspects of this channel itself. Yeah, first off, let me give a shout out to the members of this channel. And if you haven't yourself, or you might have been thinking about it, you too can become a member of this channel uh, for the low price per month of $2.99. And here are the people who are already doing that. And these are the first people I want to thank. I want to thank D. Scott, Greg, Aaron P, Phil Brad, Zentober, Toya the Tutor, Indigo Flow, Gold Professor underscore Gold Star P underscore GP underscore salute emoji exclamation point, D Rock Den, and American Negro. Uh, Thank you all for your continued support. Um, yeah, also, I want to thank the people that are constantly participate in the chat. And I also don't thank these people enough as well. The moderators of this channel. There are plenty of moderators, and although I do understand that, you know, the every moderator can't be here every night. I thank you guys as well for keeping it a buck whenever you are in the chat, and helping me keep a lot of riffraff and a lot of crazy shit away from this channel. And to respect my wishes of not being people who are use their ranch as a power trip just to time people out. Every little person that says things that they don't like. Thanks for respecting me and this channel in that aspect. You guys are great, and if I give you a wrench, that means that I trust you on this channel. That is a great thing. Yes. Also, let me also thank the Replay Gang. This channel. I've said this before, and Toya the tutor said it last night when she was on my panel, that this I have pretty good replay value, meaning that if I were to cut this broadcast right now, I mean it'll probably be at double digits, but by the time I wake up in the morning, the views will definitely be at triple digits. So, I mean, there's a lot to be thankful for as far as being able to come up here and use my voice to keep the black man's voice out here reinforced. Because let me tell you guys something. It does take a lot to do this. I mean, you are all up against, we're all against the forces of opposition that, mm, that we face just to come up here and complete sentences, I would say. Um, yeah. So, and also, let me thank the people who are in the chat who very much so contribute. They are just as much, almost just as much, a part of the show as I am. And speaking of which, let me give some shout outs in the chat. All right, we got Rogish. What's good, Rogish, the snooze kicker? Yeah, see, you got that little name change there. Nightish was good. Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X84 power. I mean X83 power. Oh my god. Yeah, I was a little tired. I just woke up from a nap before I came on. Uh, Nightish was good. Oh, got a super sticker from BGS Ibmore. Really appreciate that. Uh, Shout out to BGS. Who else is in the chat? Tony Anthems, piano, piano emoji for some reason or another. So good to see you again. Um, yeah. So what kind of space is this? Are we a negative space or are we a positive space? Is being positive boring? Can you hold the attention of any content creator that is just super positive, or you just don't see it as something real? Um, I gotta admit, a lot of what I do does have somewhat of a negative theme, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't believe that what I am doing is a negative thing. I don't think that I have contributed to the downfall of uh, Black Western culture just by, mentioning some of the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. And the reason why I'm acting like that, I'm sitting around the table, with a family, telling you what I'm thankful for, is because I don't want anyone to think that any contribute, like I said, super chats, cash apps, anyone that has participated on any of my panels. I don't want you to think that you're not appreciated. I don't want you to think that, just due to some of the things that were said by a certain guy who joined the broadcast last night. I don't want you to think that you're unappreciated. I said those things to him and I directed those things to him and the other people who were involved. And um it is I don't know at this time if I'm ready to mend fences because I contributed to something that isn't a good look for black men. It just isn't. It just isn't, and I can be one of the first ones to admit that. I don't care if any of the other parties involved can't admit that themselves. And I just don't believe that, I just don't believe that I need someone else to help me out, with that. So with that being said, e- last night is a smoke show. Every Sunday is a smoke show. So that is the type of environment that I did facilitate. I do facilitate that, and I do expect it to be that tone of conversation. But in the end, what good does it do any of us to be that way? You know. So my thing is, I just don't want the black man to take being able to come to any of these platforms for granted. whether you feel some type of way about being a black man or not, because I do hear some of you try to take the black out of the equation. Like there's something wrong with saying that you are such. I mean, and I get it. I realize that black is a color in a crayon box, and it's not really a good descriptor for our skin color. Some men would rather be called melanated or African American, but black is what I identify with. Is the easiest go to. And when you think of a black person, what pops up in your head? A really, I would say, sort of dark brown skinned person. There's no way around it. Is I don't think that the first thing that people would think of is a light skinned person, even though they are black as well. Phil Brad, I see you down there. LaShawn Jefferson, I see you. What's good? So, mm, anyway, you just like I just want, well, what I want and what everyone else want are two different things, and I just want brothers to take pride in themselves, take pride in whatever your accomplishments are, because I know a lot of people throwing a lot of bullshit at us. I'm not trying to throw a pity party. It's just what it is. And anyone that is in denial of that fact, I don't know, you might need to, you know, reevaluate. So let me read some of these comments. Hybrid says, this is what black men need. All the mainstream media pushes horrible narratives concerning black men. Man, dude. And I mean, like, it's widespread on social media too, man. I mean, is sometimes people are triggered and they say a lot of negative stuff, and sometimes it's comes from the fact that maybe one person said it, or maybe a few person people carry that sentiment. But one thing that I do notice about people like that is whatever archetype that they fall under, they never want anything negative said about them. So it's good that you are able to set the record straight. If you are a black man, if you are a black woman, if you are any man or any woman, you have the absolute right to set the record straight. Period. Is that nobody should be able to shut you up or make you feel ashamed for doing that. And that's like I said, man or woman, because I'm a damn sure do it. Shit, what do I look like? Telling other people that they can or they should. Uh, Raining woman, what's going on? What's going on? So yeah, um, yeah, but it's the funny thing about being a man is like, especially being a black man, is the way you prove that you are the way you prove that you are in your manhood is not your ability to react, is your ability to not react to negativity. It's your ability to not react to criticism, to not to show that you are, I would say, an impenetrable shell, that you can't be touched, that you can't be hurt, or you don't have the ability to feel like when people are throwing insults at you. And that's pretty inaccurate. The thing is, for me, to show you're a man is to, walk through it and be able to be comfortable with saying and doing whatever you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone physically, or you don't go too far in your words. You can, and you do have the ability to be able to say whatever you want, because as men, is not your ability to shut up and just sit down and be a quiet little man in the corner. It's your ability to be able to stand out in front and be able to assert yourself, to assert your strength, to assert your ability to lead. And many of you do give that up. Many of you do. Many of you do. And many of us would have to, I would say, actually prove that we have those capabilities. Which you wouldn't follow the lead of a complete piece of crap or a complete loser, because that would not make any sense. It would. But for, you know, those who can prove themselves, what do you believe that their qualifiers are? I mean, do they have to be a super mega rich person? Do they have to be this player from the Himalayas? Do they have to be this muscle bound Greek god like person, or are they a person that's just exuberant with positivity? I mean, what do you guys believe in the chat? What would qualify as a person that you would follow? And that person, I acknowledge that that person does not have to be me. It does not have to be me. As long as the person that you follow qualifies, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't have any opposition to that at all. You know what I'm saying? But how many people do we actually follow that are negative people who always got some shit to say that is negative? That are you as a person turned on by such? Because I mean, from what I see, a lot of us are turned on, and that doesn't have to mean sexually. We are turned on by the negativity that is expressed by certain individuals. And for many, many reasons, that kind of thing is exciting to us. It is. It is something that I wish that we could be adults and admit. You know, I know some of you that I know some of you that may be watching the cloud. Ooh, that ain't me. Speak for yourself. I am speaking for myself, but I know how to call it like it is. Yeah. What's up, KNC and Red? I see you down there. Shan was said they can block me on channels, but that never affected my life. Family members died over stuff. They want to be somebody on the internet while proud of somebody in while proud somebody in my real life. Good. Uh okay. I see information man down there. Let's see. What's good? Uh Thanks for joining once again. Uh However, catastrophic impact X83rd Power says people should definitely stay away from Cynthia G and Prince Fella Clark, the Queen Maker, and a serious opinion envy. I mean, unfortunately, people like that have large followings, and it's like I said weeks and weeks ago, it's gonna have to be up to their viewership to drive them up. Otherwise, there's not too much that myself or yourself can do about it. And that's why I don't try to offer Cynthia G or Prince Fella too much energy from this channel, because they get enough of that shit as it is. They get enough airplay from people whom they don't even know about for real. I mean, Cynthia G, I've had a couple of exchanges with her in the distant past, and she was pretty much on the same shit. And Princella used to be part of my Facebook group at its height. uh, which she would eventually end up leaving, but it was the same triggered nonsense. And I think she was married then, I believe. I don't know if she's married now, which is really immaterial to me. I mean, but I understand the kind of BS rhetoric that she is applying right now, and it seems like a lot of people, a lot of women, and a lot of simps buy into that kind of thing. You know, a lot of apologetic simps, and a lot of women who, for some reason or another, they don't feel too great about the state of black men. Which if that is due to some type of bias, then that is a determination that you yourself are smart enough to make. Man said I almost killed Cynthia G's channel. Yeah, 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 almost, but she, she's still married. Okay, yeah. And Hybrid Catastrophic says she's married. Damn niggas are desperate, yo. Hey, you know what? People sometimes when people, when I tell people I'm married, they'll probably say the same thing about my wife. Who would marry him? But I have more of I have more infamy on Facebook than I do on YouTube. Saying, and well, like I said, I don't wish I could take any of it back. I just am not a believer that people really do want positive things to happen. They don't want a they don't want a positive person up here. They don't want to hear solutions. They don't want black men to lead. The only reason why anyone would say that black men are supposed to lead is because of, you know, to pass the buck, I would say. To avoid, this is a word that many people don't like, to avoid accountability. I mean, but The you here's the thing, you have to keep bullshit up. You have to keep bullshit up. You you don't have to be accountable but once or twice. I mean, if that makes any sense at all. It's like once you are accountable for something, you can start on the road to healing and easier problem solving. And most of which don't think like that because I don't know, accountability can sometimes be embarrassing depending on what that is. And people act like they're just going to die if they have to be accountable for anything, which is funny to me. Man said, What you say?" I saw an old picture of her in the army with a low cut, and she looked like Israel Adesanya on a bad day." Gee whiz. Who you talking about, Prince Ella? I mean, yeah, but I mean, the reason why a lot of these people who do this stuff, especially the females, the reason why they get so popular and they grow so far, so fast, they grow so much so fast is because, of the black man and the misplacement of our power, the misplacement of our efforts, how many, and I'm going to ask you guys this. How many black men have Princella interviewed with since she started to make her rise? How many broadcasts by black men have been done based around Princella, the Queen Maker? You know. Now, let me ask you another question. How many broadcasts have been made? And how many interviews have been done with your favorite black man content creator? Now, if you were to actually keep score and keep count, Princella has had more broadcasts done by black men, more more interviews done by black men than your favorite black man content creator. Um, you know, um, let me use an example. Obsidian, the one of the founding fathers of what is known in present day as the Black Manosphere. Do you believe that by Obsidian's content lately that he would actually push more black man content creators than he do with women? And from what I've seen from him lately, I don't believe the answer is a yes. I think that's a no. And that's not me, being bitter, spewing sour grapes. I'm just letting you guys know what I see. He has done a lot of content centered around just pearly things. He's done a lot of content around, centered around Princella and various aspects of female nature instead of pushing to more so. I mean, with the exception of the Black Manosphere meetup, the Black Manosphere conclave, um, outside of that, as far as Obsidian's social media presence, it's more female centered. I'm not saying that he hasn't done certain things in the past, but it seems to me that it is to his own end for his own growth of his social media presence. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be able to do that. What I'm saying is that the complaint from a lot of black men that dwell in these spaces is that this is supposed to be a man space, and we spend more time in concentrating and focused and centered around what women are saying. And if you use Obsidian as an example, who is a founding father in this space called the Black Manosphere, if you use just him, that would be true. Not blaming him for anything, not feeling as if I am entitled to anything coming from any one of these guys in this space. Because one thing that I've always said is whatever progress this channel makes, it is totally up to me. It's totally up to me. Just like if you are a content creator, it's totally up to you on what your channel does. But my thing is when like the breakdown spoke on the perception that this space is anti-black woman, um mm, then it is that caused a little tension between myself and Sister George, which we've since then have worked out. I had to disagree because of the fact that there are so many brothers that are in this space who endorse a lot of women. Yes, you do. To the point where I can't say this is an anti-woman or an anti-black woman space. I can't say that and it be the truth. It just isn't. I'm sorry for those of you who perceive it that way. Because these these a lot of black female channels do have a large black male following. You got to even Cynthia G. Cynthia G has a percentage, a large percentage of her viewership. It ain't like I watch her channel because I really don't. But I mean, every time I peeked in, there's a lot of black males in her chat. There's a lot of black males in her comment section. And like I said before, that's pretty alarming. It is. It's like we are dealing with a group of men who have no pride in themselves. You just don't. And the responses that we get for that is that we hate women. We always talking about Keisha, blah blah blah. And that, I mean, to an extent, that sort of pisses me off. It does. It does because I don't feel like that we're, as black men on these platforms, that we're getting a real fair shake. For whatever narratives and whatever messages that we are pushing here, is not something that I perceive as being some huge problem. I mean, whatever content creator you have a problem with, my suggestion to you guys is be very specific on who these people are because when you hear the two words black manosphere, it automatically has a negative connotation. And then in other parts of social media is not necessarily black manosphere. It's black men with podcasts. All these black men out here have podcasts. Why aren't they using other ways to seek help, like going to therapy? Why do they have to have podcasts? Why are they getting passports? Oh my God. It's nothing. It's always going to be a problem. It's always going to be a problem. And when people, black men in particular, try to push back on this problem, then it becomes a problem. I don't know if, as a black man who comes to these spaces, you understand that. You either are trying to push back against a problem or you contribute to it. And, by me saying contributing, it is saying that you're on the other side of it. You are a black man with the same sentiments that black men should not be doing this, black men should not be doing that, is a problem all of a sudden when black men do it, you know. And I will always be in opposition to that. That is not a problem with me. I will always be in opposition to it. I will always stand up for the black man until the black man proves otherwise. And you should be that way too. Don't show favor to a black man just because he's a black man, you know, because due to what I just said, you don't know who's on your side these days, even other black men. I'm not pushing the whole bullshit narrative that, all black men want to do is kill each other. Because in order for me to discuss that in a sensible way with any of you guys, we're going to have to start examining the problems of how it got that way. And that's where that word comes back in, that accountability word. And is not something that we can avoid for too long. You can point the finger all you want. You can point the finger all you want. You can say this and you can say that, but hey, the truth is going to catch up with all of us. So we might as well be brutally honest now. So, so I've been speaking off the cuff for 40 minutes, and I'm not going to be here too much longer. So I'm just going to see if somebody wants to come up. And please don't come up here spewing nonsense. I mean, shoot, but for the most part, you guys are reasonably intelligent. So let me get back to the positive stuff. About thanking people like the panelists, people who have been on these panels in the past, which you have given me great contributions. Made you know you've made for pretty good shows, pretty eventful shows, sometimes exciting, but something that can keep people engaged. Oh my God. So anyway, what's up, Lashan?
Man, I'm gonna give you praise, bro.
I don't think
You actually brought up a topic that I didn't even realize it was that damn important until you brought it up, bro. I don't know where you get your ideas from, but you know what? You get me thinking outside the box, and I enjoy that. You make me think about stuff that I would never think about in my everyday, but it's part of my everyday. And I appreciate that, bro. But what inspired this topic? What made you think about it?
what made me think about it is that this space in particular, everything, all the topics, they seem to come from a negative place, and is a content strategy. We're attracted to the negativity. We're attracted to the fuckery, and my thing is, I don't know if being completely positive will ever work. I don't know if it will. And it was just something that, I had on my mind, and I ain't gonna lie.
10 minutes before I went on the air, I thought of this topic. I didn't really have a topic, but
Well, I'm gonna tell you
I
right now,
would.
that 10 minutes
I
was well spent. That
uh,
man, you got me thinking it's just as hard as your ass is right now. And I'm thinking about it now just as hard as you is right now. Cause you made it, wow.
I
That's
mean,
why I listen to you, man. I appreciate it. Because
it's
sometimes I don't pay attention to everything around me. And you bring up subjects, and now I'm paying attention.
you don't pay attention to everything around you, bro. You should be more observant of your surroundings, because that could be the difference between life and death. That's something
Yeah,
that
but you know what?
that
Life
is something.
sometimes make it so crazy you can't pay attention to everything. You're so busy trying to keep up with everything so nothing goes wrong. You can't watch your six.
Hey, yeah, yeah, I understand. Can I give you a suggestion though?
Yes,
Can it,
sir, you can.
in, in front of everybody, before you start talking, make sure the other person is finished. Cause like that person I had up here last night, I lost my fucking cool, and I lost my cool on a subpar mic. you know, so it made me understand that I have to eventually buy myself an actual microphone, and just what I want to continue to you know what I want to continue to reinforce with you guys is you gotta let someone finish before you start talking. And and saying you're a cool person, bro. Believe me, you're a cool person. I appreciate you. But just kind of, I understand that you got some stuff on your mind, but kind of be patient, man. And because let me tell you something. What you said tonight has made a ton of sense. I would say that it made a ton of sense, and I'm glad I'm able to make people think. It really is. I do really appreciate that more so than than anything. You s- one, oh, well, what does that even mean? but I mean,
And
but
just respect, and I'm sorry.
no, no,
I
no, no, no,
sometimes, I
no.
sometimes I'll talk to host, and you right. It's your show, and you actually made me think about something I ain't think about, and I should let you finish your point. And I will
Okay.
do my best to let you finish your point from now on, out of
Oh,
respect.
okay. I mean, it ain't gotta be. I mean, you ain't gotta say you respect me 50 times, bro. I understand. I understand that your intent is good, but
Uh, I just want you to know 3 times I respect you. So I
no,
don't know who. Never mind. Finish your point.
no, no, no. I mean, not too there's not too many points, I guess, to be made. This is just a conversation. This is just this is just a conversation at this point. This is just me being as real as possible. This is just, I mean, I know I'm Kev most of the time, but this is Kevin at this point. This is who Kevin is. This is a guy that's been on this planet for 40 plus years. And you know what? I don't like the negativity. I know negativity and fuckery sells, but sometimes we got to be positive too. Sometimes we got to thank God that we have the opportunity to do this. We even be thankful that there is a platform such as YouTube. Even though many people would rather have more freedom to say what they want to say, is even you can even be thankful for that kind of. So shout out to the Roger Report Live. Was good. My habitual line stepper brother, ski mask citizen. If you've been here before, I don't know. So if I'm wrong in saying that this is your first time here, but good to see you anyway. And anyone of you guys who aren't subscribed that are watching right now, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Or you can hit the dislike button. I mean, it is totally your choice. I won't get mad if you hit dislike. Trust me on that. Uh, uh, all right. Shout out to the Roger Report for the Cash App. Thank you, my brother. It's very, very generous of you, and I will make sure that I put it to good use. We got 30 likes. 30 likes. Yeah. So That's a pretty good ratio for the viewership that is at this time. And shoot, so yeah. So if anybody else wants to come up, that is fine. I will. You will definitely have the floor to say anything. And if I'm not looking for a praise fest, maybe I'm looking to praise you a little bit. You guys down there in the chat, whoever comes up, like LaShan, you are a person that participates in this space quite often. And although I got to be honest with you, you sound a little, I don't know, a little eccentric sometimes.
I am eccentric. You ain't wrong. Why is everybody being honest with me and then everybody's freaked out because you right? That's who I am. I'm an eccentric ass black man, but I'm not. But I like women, and I'm not really challenging anybody. It's just people get pissed off when you ask them to clarify what they mean, but you clarify what you mean without getting pissed off, and you honestly just manned up to just say, hey, you know what, you're doing a little bit excessive, Sean. And you know what? I respect you enough, and I know I run my mouth sometimes, and sometimes I'm quick to answer because everybody assumes when you're a black man, you mean something worse than what you said, but they
Yeah,
mean better. But they were being totally disrespectful to you, but they saying it so you could understand this is in your best interest, kind of stuff. And you know what? You've always been respectful, and you know what? You ain't sit there and try to downgrade me, make me be an example. Like a lot of people try to make me be an example, but the sad thing is, my name's LaShawn Jefferson, and it doesn't matter if you respect me on the internet or not. I'm respected in my everyday life, and I'm a solid ass person. And the thing is that I can't do nothing with what I'm supposed to do. People gonna have their opinion. They're gonna look down on you because everybody else looked down on them. But you can be decent to them, but they don't want to be decent to you. And then they wonder why no one loves them. But you ask those hard questions, and the problem is people want to act like they're asking hard questions, but then they want to even deal with the question when it gets posed to them. You will ask the question to judge somebody else, but you don't want to be judged by the same question you ask other people. You don't do that. And that's respectable. And that's grown man business. That's why I'm here. And you know what? I'm brutally honest, and it might piss you off.
yeah. Well, shout out. Speaking of grown man business, shout out to GMB. Wherever he is and whatever he's doing right now. Another Alabama native, fellow Alabama native. Shout out to that brother. Go check his channel out when you have the time. When you have the time, grown man business. But most of all, for those of you who are watching, check me out. And when I do uploads and when I do live broadcasts. And LaShan, yeah, much respect, bro. Much respect. I say everything with a good intention, but if I have to be truthful with you, I have to be truthful with you. And sometimes people don't like the truth, but the truth is the truth, and it's extremely unavoidable. It's like it's like having like 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I mean, if a person didn't like it, it's still the truth, unless they were born with a deformity. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, man. Yeah,
Kevin,
go
you know
go
what I
ahead.
respect about you the most? We having man moments.
Man moments. What?
Yeah, you know when you a
Okay.
grown man, you talk to another grown man, you respect another grown man, but you gotta correct the grown man, but you're being respectful because you're actually looking out for him to help him out instead of talking crap about him and disrespecting him in front of everybody else. You see, that's grown man business. That's what BGS and the people we like.
Okay. Yeah,
Now
because
you might not agree with the grown man business, and you might have to walk away. But it doesn't mean he wasn't listening. You just whatever was going on, you wasn't ready to listen. So you still listening, but later on you realize like maybe I need to make peace with this person, or maybe I don't. But you never know who your ally is until that moment comes up to where you got the questions, and then you got to see if they're gonna be an ally, especially when they out of pocket.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say nothing. I just heard about it, but I'm not gonna do that to you, bro. I got enough people in my daily life right now doing it, but they expect me to help them out while they disrespecting me. So in personal life, I understand it, but see, unlike most people, I know who I am, and pretty much I
Let me
know at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be famous. Nobody's gonna remember me except a few people that I looked out for until they did, and then I'm lost in memory, just like billions of people that was born before me. It doesn't
uh
matter. But
let
as
me ask
long as
you a
your life
question.
is worth something, then it's your life worth something. And that's all that matters. Did you
Let me,
do right while you lived? And
let
damn
me
it, you a man to do right. And you know what? I like to hang out with men like that because that's what I do. So do what you do. You always got my respect. I'm gonna drop down because you know what? I feel incensed. I feel uncomfortable because you know what? You deserve this much respect, and I'm not used to
you're
sitting and saying
uncomfortable.
to another man how much I respect him. So I'm gonna drop down, and you do what you do, bro. Appreciate it.
Okay, Lashawn. I had one more
Mhm.
question. I had one more question. Oh, he dropped down. He dropped down. I had a question for him. Those people that he said that he does stuff for, but they still kind of, show the disrespect. I wanted to ask him that: do those people love? Do he love those people? Because love is a very, very serious thing, and sometimes you love the people that don't necessarily love you back, and that's the tough part about life. It's the tough part. So say we're almost at an hour. So let me see. Roger says something that thought provoking to Roger. Let me see what Roger said. Because Roger said you ain't shit for that. Roger's the snooze kicker. Yeah. So let's be a little interactive. What are you guys in the chat? What would you like to ask me? Or the Roger report. Respect fam. How that Hawk treating y'all? LOL. Okay, that must be some type of inside joke. Ray Hama, what's good, bruh? What's good? Ray Hama, one of one person that is proven to be an ally of the channel. It's just asked me last night. You want me to start sniping people? Like, nah, bro. I mean, thanks, but no thanks. American Negro, member of the channel. What's going on, man? What's going on? Just another day in the space, another broadcast, another Monday. Uh yeah, another trying to do a positive one. We have to sometimes make it negatives, but this is kind of more of an appreciation broadcast. Appreciation to the people who tune in and day out, the moderators, the members, the replay gang. Yeah, Sun is hot. Rod was good. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, here's where a lot of my biggest appreciation goes. My appreciation for the habitual line steppers. Uh, we have 5 habitual line steppers officially, and we kind of consider our audience members unofficial habitual line steppers as well. And you guys are unofficial to the point where you might as well be official. But the 5 uh, standing members right now are, um, of course, the Roger Report Live, who is in the chat, Sister George, who you see every week, uh, alongside Concrete Rose on the breakdown a woman's perspective. Um, you also have Donnie of YAS4W, which means you ain't shit for watching. Um, have Darth Skater 7, who is not necessarily a part of the Black Manosphere, but he is he does little tech and gaming. His channel is he has a pretty good channel. He's a very innovative, creative guy himself. And myself, Black Men being brutally honest. So, uh, oh, look at here. Look at here. We got Raining Woman. What's What is going on? Always good. Always good.
I got out of my bed to come join you for a few minutes, Kev.
Uh, so how you been lately?
I'm awesome. I'm content and grateful. And you? You sound much better than last week. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I had to, I know that, some of you in, well, you in particular, you were concerned after you was listening to me talk, and I knew that, I knew I would get better. I just had to. I'm dedicated to the craft, so I had to do that show last week. My granddaddy, rest his soul, he passed in 2012. He had a very raspy voice, and it's because he was in the army and he had to do some screaming himself, and he damaged his vocal cords. So it's something that I kept in mind, and I'm careful because having a voice, I mean, it is especially on YouTube is very very important because without your voice and without your ability to talk, what good are you on this platform? you know,
hmm
unless you're an extremely visual person, and this space is about the conversation. So yeah. So what's going on? What's on your mind, Rainy Woman?
Well, I just wanted to come up and show some support while everything was cool and calm, you know. And
Yeah.
we go way back.
Yeah, you are actually like one of my first viewers, actually. Like I always attribute like you and Information Man and Chaos Rain, and you guys, you three guys were around since the beginning. Really,
Yeah.
really. So, I appreciate that, Information Man was in the chat earlier, and Chaos Rain, I believe, is still down there. So, I appreciate you guys for sticking by me through my evolution, I would say. Because, I mean, like my earlier broadcast when I first started doing that, I was kind of shaky and, my cadence wasn't very good. But I hung in there, and I'm glad to see that you guys have kind of evolved as well. So we all kind of grew together in this. You know, I feel a
Yeah.
I feel a kinship.
Definitely, definitely. Well, keep doing your thing. You're definitely making your mark, have made your mark already in this space and whatnot. I did put down in the comments though about the positivity, and I likened it to our health. Whereas, even though positivity is a lot more needed, and we all need more positivity, right?
Yeah,
The thing is that negativity does get a lot of attention and a lot of more hype and everything because we deal with a lot of negativity, right?
yeah,
And positiveness is something that you really have to work towards. It has to be really intentional. Negativity is not intentional. Like it just comes, it just happens. But positivity is something you have to be intentional about. But just like healthy food, we know we should eat healthier, but it's so much easier and more convenient and more desirable to eat unhealthy.
yeah, yeah. That is the truth. Yeah. If we only had a menu of healthy food that actually tasted good, I don't believe that people have a problem with that. But it's so easy to get a double decker cheeseburger dripping with cheese and get bacon on it with a fudge sundae than a tuna salad or some shit like that. But yeah, but as far as the positive piece, it's like negativity is like an involuntary muscle like breathing,
hmm
or a heartbeat. It's just something that is ingrained in all of us, and yeah, myself as well. I mean, based on some of the content that I present. And although I do admit that I have to get better, I'm going to be more realistic in saying that, you know, that is a necessary part of the content that we do. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes that we're gonna have to deal with the negativity and, not to pretend like it's not there.
Mhm.
It's just that what I would if I could choose a different outcome for what happened last night, even though I do say that that's a smoke show. Um, yeah, I would have chosen a different outcome, and I understand what my contribution to that situation was, but it is what it is. The reaction I got, from that person, if I was able to explain it fully without being interrupted and without being cut off, would have I believe that it would have been a better understanding, but based on the way things turned out, I'm not going to lose any sleep over
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
just so I can put out some fires before they get started, I just want to let people know on my end, if anyone, you know, has made any contribution to this channel, I appreciate it. I really do. Because without without people like you, Raining Woman, this channel wouldn't be where it is today. And I still have some ways to go. I still have some ways to go before I get to an actual place where I actually want to be. If I'm going to be on YouTube, I want to do the absolute best with it. And
Mhm.
many people that they may not want to admit it, but everybody wants that. Everybody wants
Mhm.
that to an extent. So, but I can be honest enough for people to admit it. So
That's
it's
good.
yeah. So like I said when you first came up here, thank you for sticking by me. For I would even say 5 years. Another person who's been around is Mahogany. Mahogany Roots and MJ.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's been watching for like very long time, ever since I first started doing lives. So yeah, her too. I mean, is that those are the people that I appreciate. Those are, you know. And I know sometimes he ghost watches and he's not the most popular person in this space, but
Mhm.
Taz has been around for a long time, and me and him started out on a very bad note. So,
Mhm.
I mean, is those are the people who have contributed to shaping the kind of content creator that I am, and especially the habitual line steppers because they were there from the very beginning. So,
Mhm.
so they're there. Uh, I mean, the floor is yours for anything that you want to say.
Well, I'd like to offer this as well. Since you are mindful and you did have those powerful 10 minutes, stimulating 10 minutes before you struck up this stream, that when you think about the impact your voice has, your presence, and that whatever we do on the internet, even if we erase it, it's never really erased, right? Like whatever you put on the internet, it is out here now. Your photos, your videos, whatever. Once you put it out, it really no longer even belongs to you, even though it is your intellectual property. It no longer belongs to you because you have put it out, and it is a footprint. It's your personal footprint. So you can choose to come on here and be a character and be in character form. But if you never identify that how you're presenting is a character, then there will be no separation from that, like a radio personality, right? So it is, it becomes who you are because it is the perception that you leave people with of you. So I'm just gonna say, but just be encouraged and motivated while you're in this moment and as you continue to go forward about your digital presence and time stamp, because this is also your digital legacy.
Uh, Absolutely. Yeah. Well, especially with me having a family, and there's a lot of negative Nellies out there that like to involve family members in other aspects of your life. I just try to make sure that whatever image that I carry, like you said, my digital, you know, impact. Presence. I just want to make sure that I don't look like an absolute fool doing it. This is who I am at the end of the day. I'm not pretending to be anything. I'm not playing a character. If I would have thought about it, I would have came up here with an assumed name, but I didn't think about it like that. But it's too late anyway. So, I just try to make sure that, I carry myself like a man. That's just what it is. Sometimes I may joke around, sometimes I may go for a little comedy every now and again. Sometimes on a couple of occasions piss people off, but it's all me. This is that's what it is. It's all me.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you for having me up. I'm gonna drop back down. You have a good night, and of course, I'll be seeing you around.
All right, you do the same, Raining Woman. Thank you.
Good night. You're welcome.
Good night. All right, and that was Raining Woman. Okay, I see Timekeeper down there. What's good? Art and Stall, what's going on? Check Art and Stall out on Tuesdays and Friday nights if you're not already doing it. I know that many of us have we have the same circle of subs. Some of us are different. So if you don't know who Art New Stall is, check him out. Very talented artist and a educator. So what's good, Chaos Ring?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's
Yeah,
good?
what's going
I
on?
know you gave thanks. This is the first video for thanks to all people that supported this channel right here. And I think people are gonna appreciate it, Usually you don't see most people do live streams, the people that either are members or not members of the channel. You do it right here and now.
Yeah,
The show thanks and grace and
yeah.
praise.
All righty. Let me read uh Frank Green the third's comment. He said, "My father-in-law died yesterday. My wife is all over the place, but I'm here. Been helping more than what is expected because I've been down this road. I'll call in." Okay. All right, Frank. Good to see you again, my brother. And condolences to your family and especially your wife. I know what it's like to lose a parent. It was my mother a couple years ago, and that's something that stays with you. It really does. As many time in as many days as I wish I could talk to her again. I can only talk to her in spirit and in my dreams. And is you don't know how much someone, even a mother or father, you don't know how much someone is of value to you till they're no longer here. So, I mean, um, just condolences through this difficult time in your family. You know, is sun is hot. Ross says, "I'm off on line stepping, but when you step over the line, you have consequences." Yeah, the consequences of your actions. You have to really think about what you do before you step out here and do it. You hope that it doesn't have so much of an adverse effect that it changes your life for the negative forever. When you look at a homeless person, there's two things. There's one thing that you really think about is that you don't want to take the actions to so you can end up in that spot that they are in. You start to think about how fortunate that you are in that same aspect also. It is what it is. You rather not be sitting around, with dirty clothes, unhealthy in the street with no roof over your head. But there was always an action or certain chain of events that led to that moment, and we have to understand that whatever actions we take as responsible human beings to avoid such. So I'm very understanding is that why is negativity the default disposition for humans? That's a very interesting That's a very interesting thought, or interesting question. Because it's exciting, because it's fun, because sometimes people are just messy like that. The conflict. The human society has been shaped by conflict. Without conflict, you wouldn't have civilization, I would say. And history proves that. Do your research. There's always some volatility before uh, civility. Is I hate to quote an anime: "Before creation, there comes destruction." Is just it's just embedded in us, and sometimes we wish things could be different, but it's it's what makes everything come to pass, and the only thing we can do is look to the future, and hopefully things will be better from there. So, let me answer some of these comments. Said, whatever you put out on life comes back. Your real self ain't never the person you portray on social media. Well, I'm probably doing something wrong because, like I said, this is me. I don't let everybody in on every aspect of my life because that would be completely foolish. It would, but I say enough to let you understand my authenticity for being here. I'm not pretending to be something. I'm not pretending to be a business owner of several businesses that are profitable when that is not the case. Although by governmental standards, I am a business owner. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not pretending to be some rich guy. I'm not pretending to be an extreme success or a millionaire, a pimp player from the Himalayas. I'm just a everyday guy. That is the absolute truth. You know, I'm not a I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a superstar athlete. I am a regular everyday guy. And even though I am over 40, well over 40 as a matter of fact, shit, I'm 3 years from 50. The sky is still the limit. When I say don't give up and you'll win, that is a serious statement. And it just because you reach a certain age mean you give up, and especially don't listen to some of these younger knuckleheads, some of these old niggas gotta go guys. Don't listen to them fuckers. Don't do it. Just it is you're still here just like they are. You have every right to fucking exist like they do. Ray Hama says she's so pleasant. Yeah, Raining Woman is a very pleasant sounding person, and her voice is very, very easy on your ears. She's a very soft spoken. Yeah. She has a very cute tone to her voice. I'll say it like that. Yeah. Uh, let's see. You either sit down or stand up. It's just me. That's all I'm trying to be. All right. Alonzo Hall, the All Star Advisor. What's good, brother? Check his channel out. And I'm gonna say it again. He's dropping gems on his YouTube channel that he should be charging people for. I mean, free game all day. Just go check his channel out. And the next chance I can get, I'm gonna share his content. So Rainy Woman says, I'm definitely the same person online as I am offline. What you see is what you get, but I show you what I want to be seen. I value my privacy. Definitely. There are crazy people out there that don't give a damn one way or the other. And, it's a sad thing that plagues our existence, but hey, Got 36 likes in the building. If you are happen to just be watching and you haven't pressed that like button, please press that like button. Yeah, please press that like button. Shoot, it only helps the algorithm. It helps my channel out, and you know what I'm saying. If you want to see me become bigger and all this other stuff, which I believe that most of the people that watch this channel do. Maybe do have a couple of hate watchers here and there, but let's not focus on those guys. I mean, they are positive as well. So, I've thanked the moderators, the replay gang, the people who participate in the live chat, the people who tune in every week, and the habitual line steppers. I'm also going to thank the hate watchers. You are very much appreciated. You know, and just continue to help this algorithm. I mean, yeah, you guys, with any of you content creators, the hate watchers are, as to be shown, just about as much appreciation as the people who love watching you. Just, that I know that sounds weird, but not so weird, but um, they are a positive. They really are, and whether they understand that or not. Yakuza, Like a Dragon, series generation official. Um, if you're into white women, then don't let anyone stop you. Always follow your heart. SYSB for life. All right, whatever floats your boat, buddy. Just no, I'm not here to discourage you from doing whatever you want. Because remember this, real men do what they want. You know, Spain man, what is good? Uh, Ray Hanma, the Hanma Force says, I like it when a woman's voice becomes a source of healing, especially when a man comes home from battling the world. LOL. Yeah, this when men tell women you know what they want, is we're not very hard creatures to please. We're not. Solace and peace, be in our peace. That's not something that takes a whole lot of effort. Some people act like it does take effort to just sit there quietly. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, some people just want to be heard, and that's human. But I mean, us men, we're simple creatures. We really are. I mean, like when you see those posts of men that have like a chair, a TV, and a game system, hey, it doesn't take much for us at all to be happy. That's all those pics and that's all those memes say, is that it does not take a lot. And is just and I know that you have those great Santini types that want everything yesterday, but those men are few and far between. For the most part, those men aren't very hard to please. We're not. And that's the truth, especially for those of us who are self-sufficient, for those of us who actually know how to cook for ourselves, and we know how to wash our own funky drawers, and shit like that. Yeah, yeah. I build my wife a car, she leaves me alone. Do what Devin the dude says. What? He'll be in the bathroom boo booing. That's what you feed me, fucking leave me alone in my garage. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah. But me and Frank, we're old school guys. You know what I'm saying? We're a product of an upbringing that was sort of hardcore. We weren't brought up in candy ass times like a lot of these kids are. Yeah. But chaos. Chaos. You there? Yeah, chaos rain is a
Yes, yes.
Chaos Rain is a busy man.
I'm not busy. I was watching some content while watching yours.
Okay. Yeah, you,
Mhm.
you you probably have a couple windows open, but yeah,
Yeah.
man. So what can we expect from the Chaos Rain show in the future? You know,
Um,
any
uh,
tidbits you might want to give
I'm
away?
trying to mix up a little bit, the content a little bit, see what works, some what ticks, as you know, I started doing shorts, so for the last few months, some shorts got into a few down, some very little under 100. So it's always a constant experiment with content here on YouTube. It's nothing as a winner. Is like a hit and miss overall. And what I find, I'll post it, that I find that I should share with the crowd. If you look at the last short I did, a woman, I think she might be in a lesbian relationship. She revealed that women that's in same sex marriage are getting divorced at even more of a higher rate than heterosexual marriage.
Yeah, and also their abuse rates are a lot higher too. I've heard that. Uh, yeah, I've heard that, but many people don't put that out there in the universe, and the thing is, if you want to be someone who is going to be honest about what's going on around here, we have to make sure that the truth gets out there, because we as men really do get a bad rap. A lot of
Mhm.
things that are like unwarranted and undeserved really get thrown on us, and it's some BS. And but that's what we use our voices for, to make a positive shift, not to keep the negativity about ourselves going. And a lot of young black men unfortunately don't realize that.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So there it is. I mean, if it's actual true information now, if it's lies, let me tell you something about lying on a social media platform. You can get in trouble for that. You might be,
Okay.
if you are a constant stream of misinformation, then
Mhm.
you could possibly get put off the platform.
Hmm.
Even with things in existence like hate speech and bullying and harassment, uh, constant misinformation that can be debunked, and you're not putting in the disclaimer for entertainment purposes only, yeah, you can get kicked off and banned from a platform. And nobody really, or you can get demonetized. I know that people have been saying demonetized, you can get demonetized, all this other stuff. I mean, which, yeah, that can happen, but it's sort of a fear mongering technique that people are using. I'm not scared to get demonetized. I
Okay.
mean, it would be an inconvenience for what I would like to accomplish, because I've admitted, I will admit all day, if I could make YouTube my livelihood, if I could have the dollars pouring in, shoot, I would. I
Yeah.
would. And I think any content creator who says that they wouldn't are lying. Those content creators have given up hope of becoming anything. That's why you hear a lot
Mhm.
of that's why you hear a lot of bitterness come from content creators, because they have given up any kind of possibility of that. I mean, you have content creators out here showing you the blueprint of how they can do that. Now, if you had success outside of social media, which, I mean, hopefully many people before, if especially if you're an adult, if you already had some type of plan or some type of source of income already before you come to YouTube, that's probably would be a smart thing. But it's like, I would never, like, just straight up male or female. I wouldn't hate on you making money. I mean, I mean, I would believe that, I would more so take tidbits from, how you're doing it. People, I heard a YouTuber complaining the other night about how people get all these elaborate setups, and the microphones and the soundproof, well, the sound absorbing tiles and everything, and just they tried to put it in a framing like those people were actually buck dancing for YouTube, and I was like, this is wow, that's some hater stuff, like for real. Like, why are you criticizing someone that wants to do something with a platform like YouTube? I have nothing but respect for people who want to do that, who people who take the time and invest in themselves, because the first three letters of YouTube are you. It's you. And investing in yourself is something that you should be doing anyway. So why not invest in make building a better platform on social media? I mean, so anybody that has done that, I'm proud of you. Whether I agree with, I mean, not to say that if you're doing a toxic rhetoric, that I'm really proud of you like that, but at least you came up with a strategy to get as much as you can out of it. Because you know why? Because you don't know when your last day is gonna be. You don't know. I don't know. I mean, God willing, I make it to the end of the week, but it may be this week for me. It may be this week for some of you out there that's listening. I don't mean to scare you like that, but hey, there are many people out there who probably just took their last breath, and they weren't expecting that. That is about as real as it gets. So why waste your time not trying to be the best person that you can absolutely be? Why not? Why not? So anybody, anybody that wants to do their absolute best on a platform like YouTube, screw those haters and do you. Screw them all. You know. So I mean, whether you want to agree or whether you want to disagree, but I'll give this a few more minutes and then shoot, go ahead and get some rest. So because this is a Monday, and most of you are getting your week started, and that's just what it is. So yeah, but the smoke show last night got pretty good viewership. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Good.
So that is evidence of growth, and any positive growth for this channel is a great thing for guess who. Uh, is a great thing for you guys that watch. Because that kind of thing guarantees that I'm going to be around for a little bit longer. Because it's like the priority is, when you do a channel, the priority is for the people who watch you. So, what's good, Frank Green?
Hey, what's going
Well,
on,
then
brother? How
you
you
got the
doing
shit
tonight?
arrow.
I'm good.
Get this arrow.
Well, yeah,
Arrow.
just like I was saying in the chat, I'm gonna make it real quick because I gotta get off in a little bit. My father-in-law just passed away yesterday, and it was a hard pill to swallow, but I've been down that road before. And when I took my wife up there to the hospital, we was blessed enough to, see him take his last moments. And it reminded me of, some things that I had gone through in, my previous experiences. And now it's what, Tuesday, I guess. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's about to be Tuesday. Um, and all the arrangements are starting to be done. And there's not a lot of men in her family that can really just take the helm of how to handle this shit, that have experience with it. She got a few uncles and whatnot, but her brother really ain't in it. But I know how he was raised. But the difference is how I was raised. I know how to jump in and say, okay, well, we need to go ahead and call them more. We need to call it. We need to call these people to make certain arrangements to, okay, now the men, we need to go ahead and get some haircuts, get some, get some, get suited and booted, and I'm telling her brother, like, hey, if you don't feel like you can, carry your old man's casket to his final resting site, I'll stand in for you. The way I was raised, the young man, if you're a son, you don't carry the casket. That's up to the pallbearers. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, if you think this is something you want to do, well, all right, well, let's do it the right way. And that's something women, yeah, I said it. That's something certain people don't think about. And when you're presented with death, who's going to stand up? Even at the same time, if you're presented with life, who's going to stand up? When you have a new life coming in, when you have children, who's going to provide, who's going to protect, who's going to, take care of this business for these children as they're being raised? And who's going to take care of these elders when they pass away? So I'm going to land my plane real quick right there.
Yeah. And that right there is, you know, based on the seriousness of the situation, that right there is some man shit. You know, if we don't step up, who will? Especially in the most difficult of times. And I appreciate that. I appreciate hearing that from a man. You know, so I appreciate you coming up here and sharing that. You know,
I,
you are
I really appreciate you for putting in the work that you've been doing for the past couple of years. I mean, past few years, and you really have provided a platform for individuals to step up and just speak on certain things like this because it ain't everywhere. And these are the things that get swept underneath the rug and pushed to the side because, okay, you want a protector, a provider. You want somebody to make 100,000 this and 200,000 that. You want him to step in and take care of your kids that ain't by him. But what happens when your parents or your grandparents pass away? They transition. You gonna look to the man next to you to take care of this shit. Not necessarily take care of it, I mean, all together, but I mean, just be your backbone and say, this is what need to be done. I mean, I got scammers really trying to sell them like different rings and I mean, t-shirts and all kind of shit out the blue. They want to charge, $5 here. Okay, if you got 60 people or 50 people coming to the funeral, now you want to charge them an amount of money to buy a t-shirt. You want to charge them X amount of money to dress a certain way. You want to do this, but at the end of the day, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. And don't let nobody who ain't never been there be that influence that's telling you how to do this. And I've been 10 toes down with my wife for the past 6 years. This is my second marriage. I've been divorced. I've been down that road before with bullshit, baby mama and all that, but I try to make it work. But now I'm trying to do different things because I saw what happened then. And now I'm not the same person that I was in my 20s as I am in my late 30s. So whatever happened then, I'm not that same dude. I look at life different. And when you link up with a woman that's really about your program, that's when you can step up and say, now it's time for me to actually step in and handle this shit. I can say and I can dictate certain things. But if you ain't with no woman that's on your program, bro, you lost just as much as she is. So I as I talk to my nephews and my young co-workers sometimes, I have to tell them, man, you 21, you 23, you 24, you 25, bro, you got a long life left in you unless you make some of the worst decisions that's going to dictate your future. I was raised by my parents. I had my mother and my father, my grandparents, my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunts, my uncles. And when they became the, transition, I'm equipped to deal with this type of emotions and this type of situation. But what if you hook up with somebody that's not, you know, um, that's not really dealt with any kind of this shit? They don't know how to call it more. They don't know what to do when this shit happens. That's why in today's environment, we have a lot of men and women. I'm not going to throw no shade at the women too much tonight because I'm not feeling like that. But you have a bunch of people who are engaging in relationships and they don't know what's gonna happen 5, 10 years later. Anything can happen. And as a woman, you're gonna have to step up to certain situations. But as a man, you're gonna have to make sure that you gotta step up too. And you gotta step up and beyond. to make sure that your woman is in good hands. Cause just put it to you like this: if her father dies, are you gonna be the man to step up and say, "Okay, I got you. I'm gonna provide, protect, and make provisions for you"? Are you worthy of that? Can I depend on you to, okay, be my rock? No, I'm your rock. I hold this shit down. And even in your darkest hours, I still got your back. Not for 1 year, not for 2 years, not just because we were fucking around. Nah, we've been down for a long time. And after the game wore off, what you gonna do? You can't run game after 5, 6 years. That game doesn't exist. She know your game, you know her game. And if you stuck around and let her run game on you, then who's the fool? And if she stuck around and let her run game on you, then you the goddamn fool. So I'm gonna park my truck right there, brother. Just you young man, under 35, under 25, get your shit together. So if shit like this happens, you can take care of your woman and your family. Keyword, your family. If that's not your family, bro, you ain't got no business taking care of that shit. It ain't on you. But if you really in this for the long haul, and you want to do something when you in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 100s, bro, you better put it down. And you need to run your household. Because if you don't run your household, guess what? Your household is going to run you. That's it, man. Thank you.
Real, very real talk, my brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm sure that people listening appreciate that as well. I mean, said nothing but facts, you know. And a problem with a lot of young men these days is that they don't want to step into those roles. I mean, but listen up, man. Just glad to hear that there are black men out there that exist and prioritize to the point where they can be that for not just for their woman, but for their families as well. So appreciate hearing that. For real, for real. Um,
100, brother. Like I
100.
said, I'm done, brother. That's it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate those words. Appreciate those words, and those something that's the kind of thing that young men do need to hear. They do need to hear it. So, um, yeah. But anyway, Chaos Rain, you got anything that left that you want to say?
Got anything else?
Yeah, yeah. Cause I might if nobody else comes up, I might go ahead. I might have to land this plane myself. But
I mean,
Oxford
you might
man,
as well.
I see you
Might as
down there.
well.
What's good?
You might as well because you've been up here for 90 minutes, over 90 minutes. So that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's over 90 minutes.
This was short anyway because it's Monday, so
Yeah,
most of
yeah,
that come up, say the piece, and keep
yeah.
pushing.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do pretty good on Monday, but I understand that Monday is the beginning of the week for a lot of our working class, and I do consider that. So, sometimes people are replay gang, so replay gang in full effect. But let me just go ahead and I mean, if no one else wants to come up, then I'll just go ahead and shut it down for now. But yeah, this because it's gonna be back to business as usual the next time I come on the air. I mean, you never know. I might decide to do something Wednesday or Thursday. That'll be certainly a treat for those of you who frequent this program. Not to toot my own horn, but this is just feedback from certain folks that have been looking for me to maybe add another show to my regimen from week to week. I know that Blu-ray, someone who tunes in quite often, has asked for this type of thing, but if if I come up with some more subject matter that is definitely worth discussing, I definitely will do that. But we do need a little bit more positivity, but
but the thing is, above all the positivity and all the negativity, we have something that we call that we have to deal with, whether we like it or not, called reality. And reality is the most potent of all of this. And the reality is, in order to get to the positivity, we're going to have to deal with some of the negativity. So, um, everything that I've said, I've meant. Would not have, you know, I, I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to portray myself as something that is false. Like I said, I am a regular, average, everyday person, and and I appreciate the fact that the people who tune in on a week to week basis appreciate me for that. And, you have my undying appreciation forever and ever. But yeah, like I said, with the next broadcast, it's going to be back to business as usual. The, the energy that brought me to the dance will definitely be displayed. And like I said, I know I'm being a little sappy, at this time, but I really appreciate everything from you guys. Everyone who has ever participated on a panel, everyone who's ever participated in that live chat, replay gang, you watching in the clouds, the hate watchers, the moderators that are on this channel who can't necessarily be here for every broadcast, but if you have a wrench, that means that I do trust you and I do appreciate your presence. Did I say the members of the channel? Yeah, and last but definitely not least, the habitual line steppers. Thank you very much. And with everybody that just mentioned, without you guys, there is definitely no me, at least on social media. But yeah, without you, there's no me. So let me go ahead and close this out. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust, and for all of you, if when you don't give up, you will definitely win. Um, hope all of you have very great and prosperous weeks, and I will see you the next time. Peace out.